Ready, Nugget? Alright. Good morning, my name is Christian Chaffee and I'm making a series of videos to help some of you out there who would like to improve your quality of life, which will start by making some money. You can use your spare time on weekends to help supplement your income and produce the resources and the funds you need to work on your projects. I'd like to show you some of the items I got this past weekend, things that I hope to make money on. In fact, I'm sure I'll make money on. And also to share with you some lessons and potential pitfalls that can happen in this business. I'll start with going to the swap meet last Friday. I bought a number of items and I made a really bad mistake. In fact, I was kicking myself for probably about half an hour because of my own stupidity. And what happened was, a dealer friend of mine said, "Chris, I got something for you in my booth. Come on over, take a look. I think you're going to like some of these things I got." So I said, "Okay, I'll head over to your booth." And I went to his booth and he opens up this box and he goes, "Do you like jade, Chris?" And I said, "Sure, I like jade." And he pulls out this necklace. And when I looked at the necklace inside, I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's a real treasure. But this cheapskate part inside of me has this thing where I have a really hard time. If somebody quotes a price, it's my duty, I feel, to try to hammer that price down a little bit. And there's a number of reasons I do it. One is to save money. Another is if you pay the price the seller is asking, just like that, the seller regrets it and they think, oh, I probably didn't ask enough. I could have asked more. Oh, there's Nugget. Anyway, so he shows me this jade pendant mounted in 14 karat gold and says, "Chris, I need $475. I'll tell you what, how about 400? I told you, Chris, I need 475. I said, well, I really like it. How about 450? He goes, you know, Chris, I think I need to get this evaluated and see how much gold is in it before I sell it. So I think I should just wait on selling it. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, what? What happened? I said, so you won't sell it to me? He goes, no. And I go, how about 500? He said, no. And so all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? I had a chance to buy it for $475, but because I was a cheapskate and I hammered on this dealer, he has pulled it from the shelf. It's no longer for sale. So I told myself, okay, I better quit showing interest and just say okay and go home. So I did. By the time I got home, fortunately, I got a phone call and I bought it. And I came home feeling absolutely fantastic because it didn't slip through my fingers as it has before when I became a cheapskate. So the point is this: when you find an item and you know it's really good, sometimes it's better to just pay the price and don't try to get a discount, because if you try to get a discount, all of a sudden they can pull it and it's no longer available for sale. So I'm fortunate to have gotten it. This was the best piece I got all weekend. White jade carved with a Kuan Yin, beautiful clasps done in pierce work and solid gold, and between every little jade bead is gold. What it's worth, I don't know, but I suspect it's worth a whole lot more than I paid. We'll find out because I'll be putting that on eBay. Another item I got that same morning, which I found interesting, was this horn for an old Victrola right here. It's marked Edison, Thomas Edison standard on a little tag on the back, but it has these beautiful flowers painted on it. There's a little wear and tear, but these things are over 100 years old in most cases, so you've got to have a little forgiveness. It's lucky to even have the original painting. I've seen these horns repainted and they lose a lot of their value. I bought this for $60. It's a really nice, fun, original piece, marked right here with the Thomas Edison logo, original surface. Very glad to get it. I bought it for $60. Should bring at least $150 if somebody has a nice old Edison player without a good horn. They're going to love this. One of the next items I got out at the swap meet was this post right here. And this post is an amazing piece of American folk art. This was part of a guy's front porch, and I was told that every morning he went out there for years and he would carve a different scene from the Bible. And years later he had passed away, and that this was covered up on a front porch, and later on when they decided to refurbish the house, they took the coverings off of this and they found this inside it. So they took it out to the swap meet. It was done probably in the 1930s. I bought this post for about $60. I don't know what it's worth, but I suspect it's, you know, 500 plus. It's just hard to find American folk art. The carvings are not so perfect that you can tell what they are, but when you read the part of the Bible it's from, whether it be for the Garden of Eden and this kind of thing, then you look at it and you can say, ah, that makes sense. So anyway, keep your eyes open for American folk art. It comes in all forms. Another piece of folk art I just happened to get the same day. The guy called it a pencil box, and here it's got a deer, which is oriented this way. I don't know why, but then there's another deer here with a little background. This reminds me of the folk art done by the hobos in the 1920s and 30s, where they would use found objects and then add things to them with whatever they could find and dig up. And this is an old pencil box of some sort. Even the back is decorated. I bought it for $30, and I think it's worth close to $200. The next item I want to tell you about is a pair of candlesticks that I picked up yesterday. These were up at Pasadena City College, sitting on a guy's table. Actually, it was a woman's table. And I saw a friend of mine, his name's Nick, and he went up and he's picking these up and he's looking at them to discern if they're sterling or not. And once he came to the conclusion they were not sterling, he put them down and left. But what Nick missed is these are Sabbat candlesticks used in a Jewish ceremony. And when I flipped it over and looked at the bottom, of course there's no sterling mark because they're not sterling. They're marked Norblin from Warsaw. And Norblin was a company which produced a lot of things for Jewish religious ceremonies, and they're a highly respected firm. They were operating in Warsaw before World War II, and I was very fortunate to get this pair of candlesticks. They're worth probably about $300. I paid $90, and in this market these days I'll be happy if I get about $240. And that would be, what, $150 in profit, something like that, which will cover gas there and back and maybe even food and some of my time too. So it's good to get good solid collectibles so you know what they are. There's a lot of handwork. All these are hand chased and decorated, so they're beautiful in their own right, and they're in good shape. They're not bent or damaged. So, and also the silver plate's nice and thick. If you get these and the silver plate's wearing off, then it's going to cause the value to drop. These earrings are made by William Spratling, and I found these up at the Pasadena Outdoor Antique Show, and I got them for $45, and they're marked right on the back, Spratling Silver. I got them for $45. I came home and checked the internet, and there was somebody offering a similar pair on the internet today for $425. Usually when I see prices on the internet, I'm a bit skeptical. I think they're reaching for the brass ring. I think they're hoping and praying they get that money, but I think it's $425, maybe a bit high. If I got $225, I'd be very happy, and I'd be making $180. That's something that'll be a nice solid profit. The next item I want to show you is a bracelet which is made of jade, mounted in 14 karat gold. I got this from a dealer. I paid $260. The reason I was willing to pay that is because I had a similar one about a year ago, and I put it on eBay and I got $550. So for $260, if I can double or even get close to doubling, I'm going to make a couple $100 on this, which makes it well worth my time. Also, by the way, good old carved Chinese jade is easy to sell right now. So whenever I come across jade, I look at the price, and usually I know I can make some money on it, so I normally will buy it, unless the dealer's just, you know, at full retail. The next item I found is a carved jade bead on an old hand-woven silk necklace, I guess you would call it. It's got a little endless knot woven in here, and it's beautifully woven. The silk is still in good shape. But I got this for $40, and if you take a look at the surface of this bead, you'll see that it's well finished off on all sides and well decorated, and it's just it's kind of delightful to look at. I got it for $40. I'm sure this is going to bring somewhere close to $150, maybe $200. So that was another good investment there. And you know, you can't always expect to hit a home run. When I went to the show yesterday, there was no single item that I looked at and said, wow, I'm going to make a fortune on that. But the little items will add up. So if you find items which are less expensive, your risk is lower. So it's always fun to buy things in the $10 to $25 range because your risk of loss is almost non-existent. Next item I got is a Chinese snuff bottle. This is made of elephant ivory. On one side it's got a relief of a wise man holding a staff, and it's got a signature with a little red seal. And on the back it has a full scrimshaw scene. It includes what looks like a Ming tree and a poem with some sort of bird sitting in the tree. It looks like a pheasant. I paid $180, and it's a nice shape, it's a nice form, it's got good age, and it's elephant ivory. It still has the little ivory spoon attached, no damage there. And one way you can tell better snuff bottles is they take the time to hollow them out on the inside. This goes for hardstone, ivory, anything. If you look in there and it's a drill hole and that's all you got, well, that didn't take much work. All it took was a drill press and drilling a hole or hand drilling. But where they get more valuable is when the maker takes the time to hollow it out so the walls are thinner, and they actually go inside this little hole and they carve out material until the inside of this is smooth. And you can take sometimes a little piece of hooked wire and check the hole. See, if you can't see in there and see around the corner because it's dark, take a little piece of soft wire, bend it, and see if it's hollowed out well. And if it is, you have an older, better snuff bottle in most cases. The next snuff bottle I got for $5. It has a little tiny inclusion of some sort. First of all, the original stopper's broken off. Not a big deal. These bottles are valued separately than the stoppers. Many times the stoppers are replaced. But this is a cameo glass Chinese snuff bottle. I don't think it has great age, but it's well done. And it's got bats and cats. And it was originally made by taking a clear glass and dipping it in a purple glass, and built up a nice thick layer. You can see the relief of the animals. And then they would take Dremel-like tools and carve back the colored glass till they got to the clear glass, and that way the animals stand up and you can see them as a different color. Well, that took an awful lot of work. I got this for $5. In that it's not that old, it should probably bring over 100. We'll see what happens, but it should be an easy tank of gas. Next item I want to show you, it's kind of a funny item because I know who the artist is, but I can't remember how to spell the name. I'll be doing a little bit of research on this to refresh my own memory. But the guy who painted this painting right here was a student of Monet, Claude Monet, one of his few students. You'd think, oh, Claude Monet, his paintings have gone for, you know, what, tens of millions of dollars. This must be worth a fortune. Oddly enough, even though he was a student of Monet, likely this is only worth 400, maybe 500, something like that. And it's signed right here. And I've still got to figure out what the name is, but I've had several of his paintings over the years, and for the life of me, I can't remember his name. It's like Boutelier or something like that. But the colors are bright. As I was taking it through the swap meet, I had a lot of people say, oh, beautiful watercolor. And I knew it was. It's just not worth a whole lot of money, but it is what it is. I bought it for $80, and I expect to get $400 to $800. Next item here, my pal the Knight. He was fun. He's got a bit of rust on him. Inside it looks like somebody stuck a wax skull or something, but that's not original to it. This was made in Mexico, probably in the 1950s or 60s. Looks like somebody left him outside. He's no longer a knight in shining armor. He's more of a rusty knight. He's got a little dent on his breastplate there, and it looks like maybe on his arm. But I got this for $30. What a wonderful decorative item it is. It just adds kind of a real fun quality to the corner of a room. So I bought it for $30, and I'm sure that he'll bring $100, maybe a little more. And my next item, this was one of my favorite. I bought this at Kobe's Swap Meet for $200. I left it in the guy's booth as I continued looking around for other items. Other people saw it and they were jealous. They wanted it. I was offered $300 for it before I left the swap meet. But anytime you have somebody come up and try to buy something from you that you just bought, don't sell it. Go do your research. They wouldn't be trying to buy it from you unless it was worth quite a bit more. I think this is probably worth close to $1,000. It's arts and crafts, as you can see by the trifoil cut circles here in the base. It's made of oak. The gong itself is all hand hammered. It has a beautiful old patina, and fortunately it's even got the original leather covered striker. And these dinner gongs are hard to find. So I was very fortunate to get it, and it made my day at Kobe's Swap Meet well worth it. And I think that is about all I have time to show you today. I picked up a few other items, but they're just not really significant. And I thought that these were a good representation of the kinds of decorative objects that you can look for and recognize. And I want to say thank you for joining me, and I hope that some of you will take the time to get up early in the morning, get out to your local swap meet at 5 or 6 a.m., whatever it takes to be early, because that's the key. If you get there late and you find nothing, don't be surprised. The early bird gets the worm. These are worms. I'm the early bird, and that adds up to a full belly and success. So anyway, I want to wish you good luck in your hunting endeavors, and remember, go early or don't go at all. Anyway, thank you very much, and I hope you have good luck in your hunting.